Growth is not always visible, but that does not mean it is not happening. Today, we are talking about growth and endurance. Welcome to the Faith Architect. After pressure and process, the next thing required is endurance. Because what God is building is not just growth, it is lasting growth. Many people expect growth to be fast and obvious, but in most cases, growth is slow, quiet, and unseen. And because of that, people become discouraged. They start to question the process. They start to doubt the progress. But the Bible says in Hebrews 12, verse 11, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Notice that phrase, later on. That means growth has a timing. Growth is not immediate. It is progressive. And endurance is what allows growth to reach completion. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 36 says, "For you have need of endurance, so that after you have done the will of God, you may receive the promise." That means doing the right thing is not enough. You must remain in it long enough. And this is where many people miss it. They start well, but they don't stay long enough to see the results. They don't stay patient enough to see the results. They walk away too early. They give up too soon. Galatians chapter 6, verse 9 says, "Let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." The condition is very clear. If you do not give up, if you faint not. Endurance is not just waiting. It is remaining consistent while you wait. It is continuing when it is not exciting. It is showing up when it is not convenient. Because growth does not always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like repetition. Sometimes it even feels like delay. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening, but something is happening. Roots are going deeper. Strength is being built. Capacity is being expanded. And this is the part many people don't see. They want visible results, but God is working on invisible strength. Because if the foundation is not strong, the results will not last. So God allows a process where growth is hidden, so that when it becomes visible, it is sustainable. Now, endurance is what keeps you in position. It keeps you steady. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you aligned even when you don't feel progress. Because the truth is, if you stop too soon, you interrupt what God is building. But when you stay, when you remain, when you endure, you begin to see the difference. Clarity becomes stronger. Your decisions become sharper. Your life even becomes more stable. And then what was once hidden begins to show. Because growth may be slow, but it is sure. So do not despise the season where nothing seems to be happening. It is the season where everything is being formed and your life is being transformed into the person God has intended from the inception. This is just the beginning of what God builds in the refining room, because what He forms, He intends to sustain. In the next phase of our teaching, we will begin to understand what it means to carry, manage, and grow what God has built. This is the Faith Architect, and we do not just speak inspiration, we build lives that stand.